Hello and welcome back to the reading vlog. It is Monday. I am pretty much done with the week already. I haven't slept much in the past 3 days. My dog has some kind of a stomach virus, we think. Yeah, we have to go out with him multiple times in the night, which I'm thankful that he, tells us that he needs to go. But that means that I'm running on really, really, really little sleep and I am like really, really done. But I thought before I start my workout for the day, which I'm doing in the afternoons, I would give a quick update on the rock because right now I'm looking halfway presentable and I probably won't once I'm done with my workout. I finished The Lord of the Rings yesterday, the last book, so all three of them. This version is just an incredibly pretty, wonderful to read version. It looks wonderful. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it. I mean, it's The Lord of the Rings. It is by far one of my favorite fantasy books out there. I don't think that there's much that can top this. It is a comfort book, a really, really, really hefty comfort book. But yeah, I finished this version, so it can now go onto my shelf to its rightful place, and yeah, one less book on my TBR. And because of that, I still have to continue with Cage of Souls. But yeah, I haven't done that yet. And to read parallel to that, I decided to finally start the John Grisham book that I want to read first from all of the ones I have. I still haven't read any of them. So yeah, I decided to go with The Guardian, and that is The Guardians. This is what I will start now whilst doing my workout, and then we'll see how I like it. Hopefully I like it. I haven't read anything from him. I don't even know if I will enjoy this genre of book, but we'll try and we'll see. I will start this one now, do my workout. My groceries are supposed to come. They were supposed to be here like 2 hours ago, but yeah, I have no idea when they will come, so yeah, I will probably get my groceries in the middle of my workout. It's always that way. But yeah, I'm so done. I'm so tired. Yeah. Thankfully, next week, I'm off of work for 2 weeks. We were supposed to go on a little like weekend holiday, but now that the dog isn't feeling too well, we had to cancel that. So we'll see when we will do that. But yeah, I will then have 2 weeks at home, which is also nice, So yeah, that is kind of the start to the week. We'll see how much I will be able to film with like not sleeping well and work before going on to like holiday, I have to get a lot of shit done for work, so yeah, we'll see. Onto the workout. Okay, I am fresh out of the shower, as you can see. But I just finished my workout. It was hell. I did like two workouts yesterday, and I have like a hell of like muscle pain. I don't know the word. I forget it every time what it's in English, but everything hurts. And so yeah, working out today was really, really hard, but I finished. I got, put myself back together a little bit. And whilst working out, I started reading The Guardians by John Grisham. And I have to say, I think it's really interesting. It is a thriller, definitely, but our main character is a lawyer and he works for the Guardians, and he pretty much tries to exonerate and get out of jail, or like off of death row at least, inmates he thinks are innocent, and he tries to prove their case so that they can get out of jail, and they actually managed to do that for 8 people, and they only ever lost one where they were like really, really sure that he was innocent. He died, but the other 8, they actually got out, and now he has a case where there was a judge killed, not a judge, a lawyer killed, and he tries to free the man who is supposed to have done it but who was obviously set up, and there was a lot of things that went wrong, and he kind of is on a mission to resolve that and get the man free. what I think is the most interesting thing, this book reminds me so much of the true crime books I've read. This one really feels like a true crime book. It doesn't really feel like a novel. And it's interesting because I feel like it is still a really interesting book, but I have a hard time keeping in mind that it's not true crime, but that it's a thriller, you know, and that that didn't really happen. I mean, I'm pretty sure that it happened really, really like similarly, but not like this direct story, you know. I'm pretty sure this isn't a true crime book. I might have to look it up. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna put it here, but I'm pretty sure it's a novel and not a true crime book. But yeah, it's really interesting. It's kind of like, you know, seeing how the lawyer goes through the case, what he does to talk to people, how he tries to get people to talk and stuff. And I'm 90 pages in nearly now, and yeah, it's really, really interesting. So I'm actually kind of happy I picked this up um, and made a start with the John Grisham books. I mean, we'll see how it continues, but the beginning actually I really enjoy right now. So yeah, I will have to continue with that one. So yeah, now I will go back up, do some washing. I really need to wash towels, and then I will continue playing Stardew Valley because that is what I'm currently playing. Okay, please ignore the look. I just finished my workout, but I finished reading The Guardians while doing my workout, and I didn't wanna, you know, have time between telling you what I think about the book and finishing the book. So yeah, I'm gonna cool down, and you'll have to excuse the look. I actually gave this 3.5 stars. I think it's a good book, actually. I just think for me, um, I think the problem is that I felt it hard to distinguish between it being fiction, although based on a true case, that is actually really, really heartbreaking. And you know, so it is fiction, but it doesn't really read like fiction. It reads like, you know, those true crime books that I've read a few of, and I found it hard at times because this is obviously because it is a story, it is way more detailed, but for me it felt too detailed at times. So I felt like the story could have been told in like a denser version, but a little bit less long. So that is the main part why I give it 3.5 stars, because I do still think it's a good book. It's just not something that I would go back to or would be like, oh, that is my favorite, because it is just too long for my taste in these books, to be honest. But I feel like that is a really, really personal preference. The story is really tragic, but the book has a good ending. The story it's based on, which I just found out because I read the author's note in the back of the book, the story it's based on is sadly really, really tragic, and the wrongfully convicted guy is still sitting in prison, at least, oh, sorry, at least at the time the author's note was written. So let me look if there is a date beneath the author's note. No, there isn't, so I don't know when the author's note was written. So in 2019, he was denied parole for the 7th time. The guy that actually went to prison for he went to prison for killing his wife without there ever being any real evidence, which is, it's horrible what failings the justice system has. I mean, I think the problem is that we're all human, and humans sadly aren't ever objective. Humans are always subjective, and I think that is a really, really big problem, and everybody sees themselves as the expert, and you know, people want to get their way, and there are a lot of people in this world that just go and do get their way and just don't care for it, you know. I think the other thing why I gave this a little bit less stars is that I can't talk today. The ending is really, really obvious, and I don't know if that's something that is typical for books like this, because I feel like this is the first book I've ever read in this kind of this kind of a thriller. I would call it kind of a courtroom thriller. And I don't know if it's normal for these to have an obvious ending, because I'm more used to, like, you know, Kathy Rice, what is the name? I forgot the name. Damn it. What is the other one? Simon Beckett, I think. And Joy Fielding, you know, thrillers like that, I feel like they always have a lot of twists and turns. This one doesn't. So I don't really know what, like, how typical that is, you know, but I do enjoy my twists and turns, if I'm honest. So yeah, that is this. I'm really, really happy that I read my first John Grisham. I will definitely read the other ones by him, because I do like his writing style. I think he is a little bit, like, too long-winded, but maybe in his other books that might be a little bit different. We'll see. But yeah, I'm happy that I finished it. And yeah, it was good. It was nice. I'm really happy about that. So yeah, now the next book, I'm still reading Cage of Souls. I'm really slow with that book, which I don't mind, you know. And then I think the next one I will pick up is Crooked Kingdom. But we'll see. I'm gonna go shower and, you know, get cozy, play a little bit more Stardew Valley, and yeah, go through the rest of my day. I have only 2 work days left, and I have 2 weeks of holidays, which is so nice. Okay, sorry for the food noise, but my dog is eating a snack. I just finished my workout, and I tried continuing with Cage of Souls. I just cannot get into the book. I have no idea why. I cannot tell you why this book bothers me so, but I cannot get into it. I read like a page and I'm like, oh, I don't want to be here. But I don't know why. It doesn't really make sense to me. It's really annoying because I want to like the book, and I think there might actually be like a really interesting story behind the book, or like in the book, but I just cannot get through the beginning. I don't know. Have any of you read this book and can tell me that it gets better or like interesting or whatever? I cannot get into it. I have such a problem with this book. It's the 3rd time I'm trying this, and I'm at page 80 and I'm just so not motivated. So I think I might just go ahead and try reading like a few pages every once in a while and going really, really slow through this, because I can't put my finger on why I'm not getting through it, you know? So I feel like that might be the only way to find out if it's getting better at some point. But yeah, because of that, I pulled a random book out of my TBR shelf because I didn't know what I wanted to read, and I was in the middle of my workout, so I obviously wanted to pick something quickly so I could continue with the workout. And so I pulled this out of my TBR shelf, which is The Maze Runner. I'm really sorry. So yeah, you probably have watched the movie. I mean, it was a really average movie, to be honest. I didn't dislike it. I didn't love it. I don't know. It's a book full of teens pretty much imprisoned in a maze, and their thing to do is to get out of the maze. So yeah, I did buy all 3 books in like a book lot, and you know, I thought, why not? What can't hurt? So yeah, I'm reading that one now. So yeah, I have not much of an opinion right now because I'm like 40 pages in. I mean, it's bickering teenagers, guys, you know, that are in kind of a weird situation, so it reads like that, you know. But I do know that I kind of liked the gist of the story, even though I felt like the first film really didn't tell you much. So I suspect the first book probably also not. But you know, it's a book I can get through. It's not something I would pick up, like, because I want to read it, you know. It's something I picked up because I wanted other books out of the book lot. So yeah, why not read it, you know. So yeah, that is where I'm currently at. So yeah, I will start a new knitting project tonight. I wanted to knit the vest that Wednesday wears in the series, the checkered knit vest, and I found a knitting pattern that looks perfectly like the one in the movie, in the series. So yeah, I will start knitting that tonight, and yeah, I still haven't picked up a new audiobook, so we'll see what I will pick up there, you know. But yeah, that is kind of the update for right now. I am 150 pages through, so I have 200 pages left roughly. And I mean, it is a few years ago that I watched the movie, but I feel like the movie did a pretty good show of the book. It feels incredibly similar. Like everything that happens here, I already know because I watched the movie, which is kind of interesting. It doesn't happen that often, I feel like, with movies from books, but that might, change later on. But I feel like for the beginning, it's really, really similar. The thing is, the book doesn't have that much happening, just like the movie. Like the biggest thing obviously is when the guys are running through the maze, and now at the point where Thomas, our main character, like went out into the maze and survived the night the first time. So I do pretty much know what is happening, or like what will happen in a bit, and like the girl still like being asleep and in like a coma like thing, But yeah, other than that, it feels pretty like the movie feels pretty accurate, which is just interesting. To be honest, is it a good book? Not really. It really feels like the typical teenager novels I read when I was a teenager, like 12, 13, 14. And I think for that, it works because I do have fond memories of these types of books, I feel like, so I don't mind it too much, to be honest. Yeah, it feels like something I would have read back then, and I guess I think it came out back then. I just never read it, but I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, 2010, so I was 14 then. So yeah, it pretty much fits into the time it came out in, if we're honest. So yeah, I don't mind it too much. It's it's a teenager novel, but it's a teenager novel without romance, which I'm all for, because I hate the forced romance and everything, But yeah, it's entertaining. I don't mind it. It's entertaining enough, I would say. Like, once you get over the bickering in the beginning, it's just teenagers. And it's not that bad, to be honest. It's entertaining enough, I would say. I think for teens, it's fine. For like younger teens, but other than that, I don't mind reading it. I have read so much worse. But yeah, that is how far I am now. I will now go do some more gaming. I also started knitting my vest, the Wednesday Addams vest, and I think it will look pretty cool once it's done. So yeah, I will probably show you the progress at some point. I might just insert a picture of how far I've come to Sunday, which probably won't be far, but I will just insert a picture here how it's looking, so you can see it, And yeah, it's Friday afternoon now, which means that I'm officially on my 2-week holiday now. I have 2 weeks of free time. I'm so happy about that. And on my plan for next week is definitely going book shopping. I don't want to buy a lot, but I haven't been in a bookstore in, I would say, a bit over a year probably, because I was so ill the last year. So I am totally ready to set foot in a bookstore again, so that is on the agenda for next week. But yeah, I will go back to playing Stardew Valley now. Okay, we have now Saturday, and I finished The Maze Runner. And I have to be honest, I'm pretty neutral on the book, which is why I gave it 3 stars. I don't think it's a great book. I don't think it's a bad book per se. I just think it's pretty much a result of its time when it came out in 2010. It reads really 2010-ish, which, it was like the time for weird and apocalyptic teenage books, I feel like, and this is how this feels. I don't like the characters, I don't dislike them. I think, I don't know, they're all teenagers. I feel like teenagers are a hard person to write. I feel like a lot of times when people grow up, they forgot how it was to be a teenager, and that is how they read, So yeah, I don't know. It's not horrible, it's not great. I like the concept of the story. I don't think that it's a bad concept, I think it's pretty obvious where the story is heading, and the ending, the epilogue, pretty much, wasn't necessary. I feel like that takes a lot of, well, I think it takes a lot of anticipation out of the second book. If, to be honest, I think that was really unnecessary. I don't want to spoil it because you might not have read it. There might be people out there who hadn't read it. I hadn't read it before today. But yeah, I will definitely continue with the series because I own the series, and so yeah, I will continue with them. And I mean, they have to get older at some point, right? So maybe they get a little bit more character, the teenagers. But yeah, would I say go out and buy it? No. Do you need to read it? No. Is it anything? It's nothing special, but it's not like, oh my god, I can't get through this, so I need to put it away. I feel like the characters in here are a lot more palatable, at least to me, rather than in some other, the Prison Healer, for example, which I read or like tried to read last. I feel like these were a little bit more palatable, but yeah, it's still nothing to rave about, to be honest. So yeah, but I also don't think it's particularly bad. I read online that a lot of people hated the sentence structure of the book because it's relatively short sentences. I personally didn't find that to be a problem, but I'm not a professional. I don't really care much about that. It didn't read horrible to me, so it is what it is. And now, because we're already here, I felt like finishing the video off with my Illumicrate unboxing because that came today. My horror Illumicrate will come next week, which is nice. And yeah, I have no idea. Oh, sorry, I have no idea what is in here. Oh, the theme is magic versus science, so let's see. Oh, that is nice. These are some makeup remover pads or like cotton pads, for your face. Doesn't have to be makeup remover, but yeah, that is nice. I don't have any at the moment. I don't use reusable ones, but yeah, I might just try these out and switch. Cool. Then we have this really, really big case, and oh my god. I love puzzles. This is a 1,000-piece puzzle. That is amazing. I hope that is the design of the puzzle. I think it is. Oh, this might be the design of the puzzle. Oh, that is wonderful. I have 2 weeks holiday now, so I will definitely do this on my holidays. Oh, that is wonderful. We did get puzzles before, but they were really small puzzles, and I, for one, don't enjoy those because they are over so quickly. So to actually get like a really big puzzle in this wonderful case, like this is, I can't get it back in how it was. This is an incredibly beautiful puzzle box for the puzzle. I love that, so yeah, I'm really happy with that, and it comes at the perfect time. And then we have some gloves. Are these gardening gloves? Yeah, I feel like these are gardening gloves. I'm not totally sure. I feel like gloves are kind of a bad thing to include in a box like this because we all have different sized hands. I have really small hands. These are a little bit big, but obviously for somebody with like a lot larger hands, these wouldn't fit. So I think that's something that probably shouldn't be included in a box like this. Just to be honest, I feel like it's not really the greatest inclusion. And then we have another metal box, which I have one of these already. I keep my knitting needles in these, so yeah, I always like these. And this one says, I wish for you to not go anywhere without me in this world, and the next, I wish for you to choose me. Which, yeah, it's a nice neutral little metal box. I will use this for my knitting and crochet supplies because I do not have a great organization right now, and this one would be great for my markers where I am in my work, and like, you know, all of those small things that kind of need to be organized. So that's also really nice. And then I think we're at the book. Yes. So the book is called To Gaze Up on Wicked Gods by Molly X. Chang. It is a really pretty cover. Let's see what it's about. Okay, so that is interesting. I mean, I have to say, I feel like the last few books, they were all Asian-inspired fantasy, which I think is really, really nice. I don't have a lot of Asian-inspired fantasy, though to be totally honest, I'm so much of like a classic fantasy person that, yeah, I just haven't gotten across a lot of Asian-inspired fantasy. But I think it's kind of nice, you know, I get a lot of different versions of that. This one is also has the Romans involved, and the Romans pretty much have invaded our main character's empire, which is called Erlang, and our main character is called Yang Ruing, I think. Having a hard time with these names. And yeah, they kind of bring technology and advancement and kind of try to suppress the magic in the place, and then the second son of the Roman Empire finds out that our main character has some magical abilities which he can take the life from mortal people, and so he hires her as an assassin, and as a price for that he will protect her family. And yeah, the book is about that conflict and what she will do to protect the ones she loves. So that sounds pretty interesting. I have to say, as always, it's something I love about these Illumicrate books. They look so great. They all have such great looks. It's one of the reasons I keep getting the boxes. I just love the look of the books. Even if I don't love the books, they look so great. So yeah, it's a really nice looking book. I will try to get to it soon because I feel like it sounds really good. And maybe I will be able to read one that doesn't have a romance in it. Maybe, hopefully. It is by the author of Iron Widow, which I have not read. I haven't read anything by this author. So yeah, I will try it and then we'll see how I like it. So, all in all, I do like what's in the box. Let's just quickly go over what is from what thing. The science fiction bookcase puzzle is just, you know, a general design, not inspired from one book, obviously. Then we have the Chose Me bookmark tin, which I keep my bookmarks in something else, which is why I use this for other ones. This is inspired by Song of Silver Flame Like Night. Never heard of it. Then we have Moth and Poppy's reusable wash pads. That are these inspired by the Bone Season. Also haven't read that, but I do have it on my TBR shelf. So at some point I will probably get to it. And then we have the Botanical Constellation gardening gloves. So yeah, these are gardening gloves. And they are inspired by The Surviving Sky, which I also haven't heard of. Which is, as always, I rarely have ever heard of these books because, let's be honest, I don't buy a lot of new books because my TBR is so big that I really cannot buy a lot of new books, you know, because I don't have unlimited space and I do want to honor past me that bought all of these books and wanted to read all of them. And so yeah, I will probably start buying more newer books once I get like under 150 physical TBR, but I'm still over 200, so yeah, that might be a while. But yeah, so yeah, these are kind of problematic. I feel like it's not the ideal thing. I can use them, so that is nice, but if you have slightly larger hands with, let's be honest, not everybody has such small hands as me, which I have long fingers, but if you see my hands in comparison to my partner's hands, for example, his are like that much larger, so I feel like they look big on camera, but they are relatively small and tiny. So yeah, but I mean, I don't own any gardening gloves, and I do have a big rooftop terrace pretty much. Well, big is relative, but I feel like it's big. And we do a bit of gardening, so these are nice. These are fantastic, love them. The puzzle, absolutely fantastic, and the tin I also really like, so this was a good box, which is nice, to be honest. Thank you for watching this week's vlog. Now that well, I don't want to pressure myself, but now that I am on holiday for 2 weeks, I might be able to read a little bit more. We'll see. I don't want to pressure myself too much, because I feel like I'm nearly burning out again. I'm struggling a little bit with reading. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you again in the next video.